Somewhere along the way, I forgot that I was worth it. Not because I didn't try, but because I had given away my light, piece by piece. I showed up for others, I watered their gardens, I went to their houses, I carried their bags, and I forgot that my own bag was busting open. What do I mean by that? Well, today I remember that I am worthy. But hear me out, because this didn't happen overnight. During my difficult marriage, I tried so many ways to stay afloat. At first, I worked with a therapist on the phone. That wasn't very dangerous. I felt I could handle that. Later on, I joined a group. Just a simple Google search led me there. It took me so much courage to actually say yes to that group and show up. It was what changed everything. The big aha was that I learned something I wish I had known so much earlier. Self-worth isn't something you earn. It's something you actually remember. It's not that we forgot that we were worthy. It's that we were taught to forget. We were conditioned to believe that our worthiness must be earned. We were taught that our worth is led to performance, right? Our grades, our weight, our appearance, our job performance. So it's achievement, perfection, external validation. And this is how we began to chase approval of others. We began to chase checking boxes and performance. We had to become who we thought we had to be, even if it meant turning ourselves inside out. We became contortionists just to believe that we deserved love or even belonging. The problem with that is that these are all performance metrics, and they keep changing. The bar keeps moving higher, the goalposts keep shifting, and that is how we begin to believe that we are not enough. We feel it in the core of our being, that we are insufficient, and that is how we become people pleasers. Codependency is born there too. We burn out trying to meet everyone else's expectations. And the moment we fall short, or God forbid, we pause, we feel worthless, like a failure, like we don't deserve a rest or a break, like we're broken, there's something defective. But here's the truth. We're not broken, we're just exhausted. We have been trying to live up to a metric that was never meant for the soul. In group therapy, I witnessed transformation. Someone would speak, trembling with fear, you could see it. And by the time they finished their sentence, another person would stand up and say, "Me too, I feel the same." And in that moment is when shame loses its grip. And that's when you realize you're not alone. You're not crazy, and you're not asking for too much. In a minute, I'm going to tell you one insight that completely changed the way I saw my self-worth. Not complicated, but something you have to pay attention to. Now, shame and self-doubt are the roots of low self-worth, and they lead to criticism and all that negative self-talk that keeps going on in our brain on repeat, right? That also leads to you believing the lie that you'll never get it right. But that's not true. When you decide to do some inner work, you decide to take your power back, that is when something begins to shift. You stop giving others the power to define your worth. How does that happen? It's the inner work. When you start doing that inner work, you start seeing things from a different perspective. I learned this through therapy. The therapy on the phone, the group therapy had the biggest impact on me. It was the most difficult thing to do, to join the group. But the group environment encouraged me to set boundaries and to learn how to say no without the guilt. And it's there that I learned, but no is a complete sentence. Expect opposition. Those are called boundary busters. But if it hurts you so much, you start learning to defend your boundaries. That's the shift that has to happen, and that only comes with the inner work. And when that shift happens inside your heart, that's when you stop surrendering your worth to jobs, to relationships, or to people who were never qualified to measure and judge it in the first place. Are you still trying to earn your worth like I was? Please hear this. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to prove anything to be loved, to belong, or to feel worthy. Worthiness is your birthright. And here is one of the biggest shifts that came for me. It's when I stopped trying to earn love and I started learning how to accept myself. Self-acceptance, that is key. That was the aha moment. But that didn't happen overnight either. Self-acceptance isn't accepting a future version. It's the woman I already am, the woman you already are. In another video, I did a deep dive on why and how women struggle with self-acceptance. I mean, why does that happen in the first place? Why do we lose sight of who we are? If that's something that you've been feeling too, I think it'll speak to your heart. I'm going to link it below, along with 2 free guides that come with that video to help you on this journey, to help you do that inner work. Here is the resource that changed everything for me. Louise Affirmations. I talk about it in that video that I've linked. She taught me to look into my own eyes and say, I love you. No, I really love you. I didn't love myself. I saw myself through critical eyes. I judged myself, and my negative self-talk played in my brain on repeat. But over time, I began to shut that negativity down. And little by little, her affirmations became an empowering homecoming. When I stopped trying to earn love, I started to feel joy, real joy, a joy for existence. I didn't even know that I didn't feel joy anymore. You get so lost in the sauce. The inner work is what reveals all of that. When I began catching my negative self-talk, I learned to replace my negative self-talk with words that were kind, that were even quirky, but they were true. End of story. I like myself again. Not because I finally became impressive, far from it, but because I remembered I was always worth it. And so are you. Your journey matters. Your healing matters. You matter. If you found this helpful, give it a like. Maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it too, or watch this video together with a friend, and the other one too. Don't forget, it's got 2 freebies there for you to help you exactly with this inner journey. Thank you so much for watching. Come back for more Notes to Self. Until then, have an empowered week.
There are victories no one claps for. The nights you didn't give up. The days you showed up hollow and hurting. Tonight, I want you to acknowledge the quiet strength to just keep going. Not everything needs to be visible to be real. You have done more than enough, even when it didn't feel like it. I want you to let yourself be proud of surviving the chapters no one else saw. You were never weak for needing rest. You were brave for continuing through your storms.